Hi everyone, I am Mama Cuisine Johanna Cook and you are watching a special episode of Great Everyday Meals with McCormick Spices. I'm going to share with you guys one of my family's most favorite recipes that is actually so simple to make. You would not believe all the ingredients are basically just coming straight out of your pantry into the oven and to the dinner table. We have here some McCormick smoked paprika, some sea salt, garlic powder. Then we also have some pepper, a jar of tomatoes, and a jar of olives, and a can of tomatoes, and a little bit of olive oil. Okay, and what we're gonna do with this recipe also is that there's a little bit of rice, about 1.5 cups of long grain rice. First thing we're gonna do is heat up our pan. Heat this up, and we are gonna brown these chicken breasts. We're gonna put a little bit of olive oil, right there, a couple tablespoons. And we just wanna heat that oil up. And while that's happening, we have our chicken breast here. We're gonna take our McCormick Sicilian sea salt, very good stuff here, and we are gonna season this first side of the chicken breast. So let me just make sure that you have enough room there. And we're gonna season these with sea salt. So good on one side. And also some pepper. Okay, some pepper. Grind that pepper, as little or as much as you'd like. We love pepper in our family, so we put lots and lots of pepper. We have our smoked paprika. See what I mean? These are things that you have in your pantry. Now this recipe I made, really how this recipe came about is that it was one of those super busy days at the house. My husband came home from work, the kids come home from work. It was just kind of a crazy day. Everyone is running around, and I know a lot of you go through this as well, was kind of looking in the pantry and thinking, what in the world am I going to cook? I don't have enough time to be slaving around in the stove, and I don't really have anything in the fridge. I have no idea what to make. So what I did was just really go through my pantry and think, oh my god, what do I have? I have dry rice, chicken breast, and like a jar of olives and tomato. What do I do? So I decided to just put it all together and just cross my fingers and hope that it turned out well. And it turned out so good, and it's actually one of the most popular recipes on mamacuisine.com. And it's just a great story because a lot of us, I really believe that if you have a really good pantry stocked with the right spices and ingredients, that you could make something out of nothing time and time again. So we have here our chicken breast here with the paprika. We're gonna take our McCormick garlic powder and put a little bit of that. Now this is all just flavor. We're just using things out of our pantry. And what we're gonna do with the seasoned side up, or seasoned side down in the pan, is that we're gonna start to brown these chicken breasts. So let's do that here now. We just want it to have some really nice color. And make sure your heat is high, and that's how you're gonna get the nice color, and that paprika is gonna give these chicken breasts some really great color as well. So we have our chicken breasts here. Now these are not cooked all the way. All we did was put it in the pan to give it its nice color and get the skin a little bit crispy. So this is not cooked yet, but look how beautiful that looks, especially with that smoked paprika over it. It's a nice, beautiful color. Now the next thing that we're gonna do is take some rice. We have about 1.5 cups of rice here, just regular, long grain, whatever rice you have. There have been people who have asked me if you could use brown rice. You could definitely use brown rice. You could use quinoa, barley. You could use whatever you want. But this recipe calls for 1.5 cups of white rice. And now that we have that, we're just gonna put that in raw, okay? Not cooked, it's uncooked rice that we're gonna put in the bottom of that baking dish. We have 1 can of fire roasted tomatoes, diced, and we have 1 jar. This is 7 ounces of green olives with pimento inside, with the juices and all. I'm just gonna dump it in. So what you want to do now is just mix it a little bit together so that it's all incorporated, and we're not even going to add any more salt because that olive juice is so salty that we don't need to add anything else. Now with that, we're gonna put our browned chicken breasts, bone and skin on. You can always take them off afterwards, but I really like to use it in baking because it helps to keep it moist, very delicious, and man, there's a lot of flavor in that skin and bone, so you don't want to take that out while you are baking them. Very easy, very simple to make, and what we're gonna do now is put it in the oven, uncovered just like this, in the oven for about 35 to 45 minutes until the rice is nice and delicious and tender, and you will get the really nice edges of the rice a little bit crispy, which I love in paella, and that your chicken breasts are cooked all the way to at least 165 degrees. It's been a little bit over an hour and we have our beautiful Spanish chicken bake right here. You could see just how beautiful the chicken is, golden brown, the rice is nice and fluffy. Such a simple dish that you could put in the oven while you're running around getting the kids ready with their homework and their baths, and when you're all done you have this beautiful dish. And we only use a couple of very simple ingredients. We use McCormick smoked paprika, garlic powder, salt, pepper, olive oil. It's so simple. I hope that you try this recipe at home. This is my American homemade dish, and I hope that you go and visit www.mccormick.com/flavorprint to share with us your American homemade dish and story. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Great Everyday Meals. I am Mama Cuisine Johanna Cook, and I'll see you next time. Bye!